Are you frustrated with online dating? Confused by all the new apps and fancy dating sites? Do you find yourself choosing the wrong person again and again? Well, studies show that hiring a dating coach can maximize your online dating experience. So no worries, I've got you. And I've created a virtual course called Doing Dating Right. It's a 5-video series that you can complete at your own pace in your own space, right at home. How to write your online dating bio, pick that perfect picture, and so much more. Want more info? Go to my website at jenniferhurwitz.com. Again, it's jenniferhurwitz.com. Good morning, good morning. This is Doing Relationships Right. I'm Jennifer Hurwitz, and I'm your host every Tuesday and every other Friday this year. I dropped a Friday because, girls, it's just too much for me. Okay, if you're watching on YouTube, you can see I have 2 people in the studio today, but if you're not watching and you're listening, then you don't know what I'm talking about. I have T.H. Irwin and Jessica Klingbaum, who are, I just have to get all verklempt a little bit here. They are the co-creators and CEOs. Is that what you are?
Co-founders.
Co-founders of one of my new favorite places that I like to peruse quite often, called the exEXPERTS.com, which is all things divorce, all things fabulous things to help women after the divorce, going through a divorce, if they're thinking about going through a divorce, anything divorce related. This is a website you need to be on every day of your life. How about that, girls? How was that for an intro?
I'm down with it. We're done here. Thank you.
That's your new intro. Girls, I just have to say this. So this is a website and a community and a place for women who are, first of all, you've lived it. You've both gone through it. We're going to hear your stories. We've all gone through a divorce. So I think because we've lived it, we get it. We understand it. Mm-hmm. So you're going to tell me your stories, whoever wants to talk, and how this all came to be and how it came to fruition and why you've chosen to do this. But basically, you help women thrive after the divorces. And the way that you've set up, I have the chills. I always get so emotional. The way that you set up your website it's fantastic. It's fantastic. There was nothing like this when I got divorced 9 years ago. And so I applaud you. I think you're fantastic. And I'm going to shut up. I'm going to shut up and let everyone go. So who's talking first?
I guess I am. Okay.
Go, Jessica, go.
So quick, fun background in terms of how TH and I met. I've been actually divorced twice. And my first husband and TH were best friends in high school. So I met TH in college. She had come up to our campus for a Halloween party, and I had heard a lot about her, and clearly she had not heard anything about me. So she comes into the party, and I go running up to her, and I'm like, "Oh my God, you're TH!" And she looks at me, and she was like, "Where's Darren?" And I went up to Darren later, and I'm like, "That's your best friend? She's a bitch." And ultimately, I found out many moons later that he just had not told her anything about me. So she had no idea who I was running up to her. So, okay, fine, it explains it. But ultimately, a couple years later, I graduate. We all live in New York City. We ended up getting engaged within a month of each other, married within a month of each other. We became best friends. Our husbands were best friends. We traveled together. We did all the things together. And then about 13 years into our marriages, we both found out within a week of each other that our husbands had been cheating on us, and they were covering for each other for their respective affairs.
I can't believe it. I just can't.
You cannot make this shit up. So we got divorced at the exact same time. Totally different divorces, even though the circumstances looked similar on the outside, but totally different circumstances. Mine was super amicable and fairly short as divorces can go. And TH's was really long and not super amicable. And we would talk, obviously every day, but about the fact that we were so lucky that we had each other going through divorce at the same time.
Right.
It was a while ago. We were fairly young. We were the first of anyone that we knew in our group of friends that was getting divorced. And so we just would acknowledge that, what did you talk to your lawyer about today? And did your, person tell you this? And have you thought about this? And
you were so
just
lucky.
Really so lucky.
Oh my God.
And we were like, we're going to have to do something to pay it forward someday. We should do a radio talk show or whatever. We had a million ideas, and then nothing really came to fruition initially. And Tish will explain more, but it was sort of something, I think, that was a seed that had been planted in our heads that we have thought about over the years. And then finally, approximately 2 years ago, TH came to me and she was like, now is the time. So we started building it out, and we officially launched in August of
August
2021.
And I got to tell you, I'm a little upset.
6-7 months ago.
I'm just a little upset because
Why?
no one told me about you. And like when I finally heard, my friend Rob called me, he's like, have you seen this exEXPERTS.com? And I'm like, what? And I was like, when I went over, there's all this fabulous shit on there. And I'm like, wait, I'm sorry, but why am I not involved in this? And I was like late to the party.
But now you are involved
Now
in it
you're
because
totally
now
a
you're
part of
one
the
of
party.
our exEXPERTS, and
Okay,
we're going to be
that's right.
doing events with you. And
I just can't
but
even.
we hosted, we launched it, like I said, about 6-7 months ago.
Fantastic.
And yes, the intention is exactly what you said. Our mission is to help women. Listen, we help men too. I mean, we know that our primary demographic is women for sure,
Okay.
but we tried to use colors and branding and things that wouldn't necessarily turn anyone off. We divided the website into specific sections so it's easy to navigate. If you're looking for stuff about the money side of divorce, you're going to go into the My Wallet section. If you are interested in things about, kids and custody, you're going to go into the My Family section. We tried to make it really intuitive. We have our podcast, the Divorce Etc. podcast, all of our social accounts. So it's just a multi, digital platform of everything divorce. And if we can help other people so that it doesn't feel so dark and lonely and scary, we know it, then we're doing a good thing.
I think it's a great thing. And the thing that I love the most is that as a coach myself, when I was going through it, I only had married people around me who had
Right.
no idea.
They have no idea.
All I wanted
They
them
don't
to
even
do
know
was,
what to say anyway.
No, they
even
had no
with
idea what
good
to say.
intentions.
They had no idea what to do. And I just wanted them to shut up.
Yes.
I really did.
Yeah,
I
there's
was
more
like,
noise.
right? It was just,
Well, I always, and I think I've said this to you before, Jen, like I always use the analogy when you're getting divorced and, all of your loved ones around you and your friends and family, and they love you and they want to support you. And they're like, how are you doing? And it's like when you have a new baby, like they ask how you're doing, how's the baby? They kind of just want to hear fine. But if you have a friend
right.
that also has a new baby and they
You
ask
get it.
how is the baby, like they want to know how many ounces it drank that day and how many dirty diapers did you change and how many hours did it sleep? Like they want to be in the weeds with you.
Absolutely.
Other people don't know how to be in the weeds with you. And you feel like if you're talking about those kinds of things with them, that it comes across maybe like you're complaining or bitching and moaning,
Right.
even when you're not. Like,
Right.
this is what's going on in my life 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So I can say fine. I can tell you the
you could really
conversation
tell
I had with my
right.
lawyer today.
Right. Exactly. I
Right.
mean, that's
They
why
don't
I
really
wrote my
wanna hear
second
it.
book, right? I mean, I
Right.
wanted people to know what to do and how.
Exactly.
Right. So TH, you guys met. So then so TH went to Jessica. That's how this happened.
Well, you mean to actually
Wait,
launch
when?
the business?
Yes.
Yes. Go ahead.
Yeah, so when this all came out and Jessica found out within a week of me finding out, for me it was a ticket to freedom. It was now there's no excuse. She just saved my life today. I'm out. Jessica was upset. It was so on paper it looked the same, but it was not the same. And we didn't even realize how different our marriages were really until afterwards, and we're kind of rehashing things, and the extent of the lies and infidelity and everything was just like ridiculous. So at the time, I'm a marketing person. I've done experiential events. I'm community driven, strategy kind of person. And Jessica's in broadcasting and TV. So Sirius XM was new back then. I'm like, let's do it. Except my divorce took 4 years. So as happy as I was, I had 3 kids under 8. I had to reestablish ourselves in our town. I had to get a different job because my other job kind of blew up with Enron. And so that's like case studies for all of you in college right now or just graduated. I couldn't do it. It was just, I had to like figure my own stuff out. And then about 7 months before COVID really became a thing, I was ready to transition again from my career and events. Things were just, I wasn't happy with the new management or whatever. And I'm like, Jessica, when I Google divorce, the first few pages of Google are all ads.
Yep.
And did you know you can get a divorce for $2.99 is what they say? And what the hell? Like now we had no information. Right. Now there's so much information that there's basically no information.
Right.
And where do you even begin? And now in these days, identity theft and hacking and like, holy crap, how are you going to do all of this? I said, I think that we should do this. There's still nothing like this out there.
Yep.
We are not, you can't pay to play with us. You got to meet us. We have to talk about it. You may not be the perfect fit for us, but if we think that you're skilled and you're positive and you offer the right kinds of direction for an audience.
Wait, TH, explain that, because I don't think we got to that part yet. You have
Okay,
my
I'm
wallet,
getting
you have my
ahead.
family, but you also have experts that are available in every
Right.
genre aspect. Explain.
Right. So
everybody.
exEXPERTS
Right.
is a combination of experts, the best experts in divorce. Now, they are divided. There are the people you have to pay to be part of your tribe so that you can actually legally get a divorce. There are experts to support you emotionally who you pay, and dating experts and relationship. So these are people who make a living, and we have vetted exEXPERTS in every one of those lanes. Then there are real life experts like us. So Jen, you wear two hats, right? But
12.
like what Jessica was saying about, the new baby story, people care, but kinda,
Right.
they are genuine. They want to be there for you. They don't know how to be there for you. We know how to be there for each other. We know what it feels like, and it's no one's fault. It's just the way it is. So we also represent us because the community and emotional side of divorce is longer lasting. By the way, divorce is still a hot minute, even though mine was 4 years. We spoke to a woman in 9 years. Like, in the span of your life, it's still not everything,
And every
and you
state
have
is different.
opportunity.
That's
Every
right.
state has different laws and different
Right,
separation
right. There are
agreements.
all different challenges, and also
Oh.
like my ex and I don't communicate. There's no trust. There's no relationship. Jessica and her ex do. So, the terms of your relationship with your ex also determine the success in terms of money spent and time spent of your divorce.
But it's actually nice that you guys have had such different experiences, because you can bring
Absolutely.
such different aspects of everything to the table for your site.
That's right. And when we have the information on our site, when we're doing our podcast interviews, we are coming kind of from two different sides of it. So,
Love it.
Anytime you hear somebody's story, it's not like misery loves company. That's not where we're coming from. But the idea of being able to commiserate together and kind of like, well, you've been through this, what did you do about this? And that may not be what I should do about it, but you're learning from other people's stories. I mean, that's helpful to anybody who's thinking about it. And even if you're just thinking about it, like to get an idea of what your path is going to look like from all of these other firsthand accounts from, like TH says, our real life experts. So if you go into the My Divorce section of our website, which is all about the process, the legal process, there's a ton of information there from lawyers and mediators and
Divorce
coaches that we have personally spoken to and vetted. They have not paid for us to interview them or to be on our site. We're not like just a directory.
No.
They have a message that resonated with us on some level that we know will resonate with our community. So those are the industry experts there. TH was mentioning, like, for yourself, we have a myself section. So that's therapists and relationship coaches and matchmakers and things like that. In the my family section, it's lawyers, but talking about high conflict custody divorces and who gets the pets, like certified divorce financial analysts in the My Wallet section, and for my stuff,
it's
like
endless.
Real estate agents and mortgage brokers like that are specializing with divorced situations. So like those are industry experts that at some point in your divorce you might need. I did not use a forensic accountant. TH did.
But you might need
But
it,
it's nice to read about it and have those questions prepared for when you do meet with your lawyer. Like, is this something I'm going to need?
It's also nice, Jessica, that you have so many different options, because not everybody clicks with everybody, right?
That's exactly right.
Right? And
right.
That's
really
not
important
in everybody's
to us.
budget. I mean, we have spoken to, when we talk about commiserating amongst ourselves as real life experts, Jessica and I learn every time. I'm like, Jess, we need to talk about this topic. And then we learn something from one another that we didn't know before. And every time we bring in another expert, we're learning more. So we're basically doing that kind of camaraderie and knowledge building. Every time we vet somebody, it's an ongoing growth process.
It's nice, isn't it?
That's awesome. It's very rewarding.
I feel like when I interview people on my show.
Right.
I'm like,
Right.
wait a minute. I didn't know that, right? And
That's
I feel
right.
like, wait, but I'm a coach. I should, but you learn, right? You
But-
don't
and
know
it
what you don't know.
reminds you of something.
That's
Right,
you don't know what you don't know.
You don't know.
That's
We talked about
exactly
that,
right.
Jessica, when we did our podcast.
We did, yeah. And it's always learning something new. You know, with every episode we do, and it's constant knowledge. There's a lot to know in this space, and the idea that someone can go to one website and find everything that they need to know, and they don't have to use any of the lawyers on that site, but they can use all of the information in their own process. That's the idea, just like a one-stop shop destination.
Wait, you guys also did something with like, I loved it. First of all, the two things that I love everything, but like tools, how to use tools and how to like,
Right?
Oh my God. It was where were you when I needed to fix my toilet lap? I mean, like, right? Like this
your husband moves out. Right. And now all of a sudden you got to fix shit at home and you're like,
for the
I don't
record,
even know.
If co-parenting during a pandemic taught us anything, it's that you need proof your kids are safe. With alcohol abuse on the rise, many co-parents are turning to the no-nonsense system committed to providing proof, protection, and peace of mind. Soberlink's alcohol monitoring system is the most convenient, reliable, and reasonable way for a parent to provide evidence that they are not drinking during parenting time. Soberlink's real-time alerts make it easy to negotiate with any party. Judges rest assured that the child is safe. Attorneys get court-admissible evidence of sobriety, and both parents have empowerment and peace of mind. Do divorce right and trust the experts in remote alcohol monitoring technology to keep your kids safe, happy, and well-adjusted. To download the guide, 5 non-negotiables for embracing a new normal that I developed with Soberlink, visit www.soberlink.com/DRR.
And for the record, he never fixed anything anyway. But I like the idea that I can still learn how to fix something. Yes. Like Jessica did a TikTok, like doing all the stuff. And I'm like, I did that. I know how to check the air on my tires. Like, I know all of that. But there's a lot that I don't know, and a lot that you know what? It's okay to know. Just knowledge is power. Just embrace it and go with it.
I literally, though, remember when I had gotten separated and moved into my first apartment, like I bought a toolbox.
Oh, I had to.
I was like, I need to have a hammer and a screwdriver. And I mean, it's the stuff people don't think about.
Yeah, exactly. And you also did I just actually followed someone on your page today, on your feed. You guys did like a carousel. Did you see that?
Carly, the sex therapist.
The sex therapist.
She's unbelievable.
She was great. And here's the thing, like, I feel like I know every sex therapist there is. They've all been on my show, right? I know, but there's always one more person you don't know.
And I'm telling you, she is A+. And she's
star.
Really, I mean, everything that you would want and makes you so comfortable about it. She's just talking about stuff like it's no big deal.
It's matter of fact.
Yeah, TH and I have had a lot of conversations about that. I mean, look, the whole, like, as you know, Jen, more than anyone, getting back into dating and sex after you've been divorced.
We should do something, I would like to do something with her.
So let's definitely. Let's
She's
fantastic.
We do like that thing you guys did.
We did the sex and money.
How you guys do those things.
So we want to continue to build out the community around the experts and around certain topics. So the first one, I mean, I felt like sex and money. It has to be sex and money.
It was our first live virtual. We have to be specific. We are doing on exEXPERTS, right? We're doing live events virtually, and that was our first one.
Awesome. So it's intimidating for a lot of people, but that's exactly why we pick those topics, because that's the whole thing with divorce too. We have to just talk about it. If you talk about it, it's not such a big deal. So we're picking topics for our virtual event series that's going to run hopefully one a month right now. And then maybe eventually in person. We'll kind of feel it all out, but
you guys do one in person?
Featuring our experts with us. And it's almost like doing our podcast with you, Jen, except that we're going to have an audience and we have Q&A. So it's a little more expansive, but still like the back and forth with the two of us, because we kind of, soften the hit a little bit. Like, we're not afraid to ask you the questions. And then someone will be like, oh my God, can you believe she just asked that? Okay, I got a question. Or that's like or they're going to they'll walk away knowing more and maybe feeling a little better than they did before they signed up for the event. So The Sex and Money event is one of many live events that we are going to do,
great.
both in person and virtually.
Okay, I have another question. I took
Yes.
notes, girls. I took notes. Okay. I have a couple that you have to explain a couple things because this is very important. And by the way, this episode, just so you know, is next week.
Awesome.
Okay.
So my editor can hear that now. He's like, well, Jennifer, what? Okay. Your inner circle.
Yes.
What is your inner circle, this fancy little inner circle?
So our inner circle right now, I mean, we get a lot of feedback from people. TH and I are not divorce coaches. But we need to hear from people. What is it that what kind of information do they need? What do they want us to serve them? What do they want to see on our site? And so we are creating our inner circle within the exEXPERTS community, which ultimately is probably going to be like a once or twice a week small group Zoom. We're looking at different membership options, but the idea is that people have feedback and want to be in, for lack of a better term, almost like a support group.
Love it.
Where there are actually people that they can see and identify and build relationships with and be comfortable, as TH said, like asking the questions. What happens in our live events is great, but the idea that like every week, that you're jumping on to a group call with people who are exactly in your situation, with an expert that's going to be able to answer questions in a specific area or topic, talking to us about, hey, it would be great if you guys did a podcast episode on this topic, or so it's literally a way for people to help take a little bit of ownership in what they're seeing through exEXPERTS by telling us what they'd like us to put out there, and then also being able to be part of a small group of support.
I love it. I love it. And your newsletter, please tell us about that newsletter. I joined.
So that I'm so proud of you. So the newsletter really started with focusing on real life expert experiences and what I wish I knew. So the theme started out with what I wish I knew. And I always felt that, and I feel like it changes as time goes on, but still probably the one thing I wish I knew was that my gut was honest and safe. And I should have it would have been okay to listen to it. I can't say shoulda because it happened, but it would have been okay if I had listened sooner, as soon as I had heard it. So we know that those stories, as we had just said before, really resonate with people, and if it sparks something for them or gives them a source of comfort, that's great. And then we decided to build it out. So now the newsletter goes out, I think weekly or bi-weekly.
Every other week. Yeah.
So bi-weekly. And what we do is we put in a real life, testimonial or what I wish I knew clip. And then we also give you an update on what podcast just came out. Like we just did Gabrielle Stone and what article we have up. And then we have a section on our website called X-Rated. I don't know if that's on your list of things. So we'll get to that. But it's just kind of a recap of what's coming up, what came up, and things to like give you a little boost in your day.
And also like to be the first to know about what are the upcoming events that we have, to be able to register and get tickets and, right.
Love
exactly.
It. Love it. And I like that you don't do it every week. And I like that you don't do it every day because
it's too much. You're already, we're all bombarded with so much information, and going back to the website for a second, the big thing with that for me, what I basically told the designer for the website was, I want divorce for dummies. Okay. We're all brilliant people. Except that when you're going through any kind of trauma, your brain doesn't function. I was just sick last week. Today's the best I can do to focus. Yeah. But I get it. Like you just can't get shit done. So that's the website, and everything we do is with the understanding that it's a lot, and we're going to make it as easy for you to consume as possible. So that's the same thing with frequency of anything that we do.
Yeah.
You have a whole other life to deal with, but we got your back when you want it. When you want us, we're here.
Divorce, and everything coming at you, it's like, it's overwhelming. It's a lot.
It is.
That's why I like your website. I feel like
the thing is, not that I want to upset anybody, but if you have kids, it doesn't end the day that you get your stamp. Your freedom begins the day you get your seal. But then you got to figure it out without your lawyer, without your expert, without your parent advocate or whatever. Now you got to pull up your big girl pants and you got to show us what you learned. So we are here for that whole journey.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I think a lot of people don't see it as freedom. I think a lot of women, unfortunately, when they're going through it, they are in a dark spot, and they are, their their lives are destroyed.
I totally get that. I mean, when I was going through my first divorce, I was 36. I'd met him when I was 18. Literally half my life was with this man.
Yeah.
Who was I when I was getting divorced?
Right.
What was I going to do? Like, it is such a loss of identity and a kind of a loss of, at the time, my definition of family. My point is, while I am a very positive and optimistic person, and I think I had a great outlook for me on how to handle my divorce and what I wanted the end game to look like, and it does look exactly like what I had planned at that time, we've been in that dark and scary place. Even when we look at other people's, you're Googling information for divorce and you find information on, I don't know, how to find a lawyer or something, and it's from a legal website. And it's like the colors look like a bruise. It's like dark blue and black and brown.
gloomy.
And it's very ominous. It's like,
Yeah.
it doesn't need to be
It's a
scarier
storm.
than it needs to be. That's
No, I
right. So
agree.
we understand all of the darkness. We're not saying you can't have that or you shouldn't be feeling that. We're saying we
but
get that you're feeling that, and here are some resources that can help you now. And here's some things you may not have thought about that are going to help you with a more positive outlook moving forward when you're ready.
And I think it's important to stay positive. I love how the colors are bright and it's pretty, and
It's hard. It is hard, and
I
it
agree.
is a process. And we are now 14 years out. So we've had a lot of baby steps to get where we are. This was not an overnight thing, but what Jessica and I have to offer is like her perspective of how she felt going through her divorce is very different than the way I felt. And you all might feel very different too. And all of those feelings are totally okay. And I actually called Jessica today. I'm like, we need to talk about acceptance. Like, it took me back to my divorce. It totally triggered something I hadn't thought about in such a long time because I was so much happier than I was unhappy. So, just really, it is a process. Be kind to yourself. Let yourself feel the feelings. Do not bury anything and trust your gut. I mean, that's like my best advice.
I love that. Thank you. Oh my gosh, you guys. Oh my God, we're done. We were it's so funny.
like
I
3
made a
minutes.
special spot for you because I didn't
love
have
you,
one.
Jen.
And so I opened up. I made a special spot. I'm like, I can't wait any longer to put you guys on.
Thank you so
because
much.
It's been way too long.
It's great.
So first of all, it's easy to find you. It's first of all, it's EX.
Yes. It's spelled out, exEXPERTS. So EXEXPERTS.com. Just exEXPERTS.com. Our social handle on, for our Facebook page and our Instagram account, it's at exEXPERTS. Again, all spelled out. The podcast, you could search it on any podcast platform if you put in exEXPERTS, but the name of the podcast is Divorce, etc. Divorce ETC.
Right. And everything's going to be in the show notes. So if anybody needs to find you, you're in the show notes and everything's there. And I love you girls.
And we love you.
We really appreciate the opportunity. Honestly, it clicked like the minute we spoke. It's
oh my gosh.
we're really happy.
Why didn't I think of that? That's the first thing I thought.
Well, we hear a lot of people saying
a lot of work.
Yeah, we hear a lot of people saying that they've thought about it, but they didn't have the bandwidth to actually do it, which is the case with a lot of things in life. We were at a point where we were ready and we had the bandwidth and we went for it.
And we have each other.
And we have each other.
Yeah.
Most importantly.
It's nice. I think I don't know. It just ties it all with it, wraps it up in a bow.
Well, our joke, because she had the way we met was through my ex-husband and TH were best friends in high school. So we always joke that we got each other in the divorce.
Exactly.
Yeah. Our settlement gave us each other.
Wait, no, do you guys still talk or no?
Our husbands are not really friendly anymore.
You don't talk to her ex-husband?
I do not talk to TH's ex-husband.
Oh, no.
She'll see my 50th is this weekend. Both of my ex-husbands will be there. Thank you. And TH will see him there.
We'll have a lot
and he'll
of
grab
good
her
video.
ass like he always does.
I can't even.
I'm kidding.
I love it.
You're not really kidding.
Well, I'm kidding that I don't think he actually will.
Hi, Darren's in the room.
I love it. Oh my gosh, girls. Okay, so before we go, is there any little tidbit or anything? I want to put you on the spot, but anything that you want to say? I like TH. I like what you said, but
Yeah, I know. I think that what I would just add to that is, again, like it is a really dark and scary place. It seems really lonely. I'm a total extrovert. Like I was pulling away from a lot of people around me because you kind of just don't want to talk about it all the time and you're processing everything. But I can tell every single person out there who's going through the divorce process, no matter where you are, there is light at the end of the tunnel. You will be
Yes.
happier on the other side. It can take a little while to get there. Like TH said, we've been out now for 14 years. Easy, seems easier said than done. But the truth is, there is not one person that I've ever spoken with in the industry or in real life who's gone through the divorce process who has not acknowledged that they are so much happier on the other side. So just hang in there to anyone out there, because I promise it really does get better.
It does.
And we have messages up on our Instagram regularly and stuff up on TikTok that if you're just having like a lame day that you don't feel good, like today I posted, emotional exhaustion, and that's kind of how I felt today. We are transparent. We are no BS, just like Jen. And we're happy, to share our stories, share our feelings, ask us anything. And, we will answer as honestly as we can.
I like authentic girls.
Yes.
Yeah,
We are
and there's
open
no
books,
time for the other
no
stuff,
filter.
honestly. We don't have
Exactly.
time for bullshit anymore.
I don't have time for bullshit either. You know what? I'll tell you. I think that's why people listen to me. I don't have time for this
That's
crap.
right.
That's right.
Okay,
That's
it.
right.
Okay, girls. Well, I love you, and thank you for being here. And everybody, listener or listeners or whatever out there, you know where to find me, jenniferhurwitz.com. I'm here, doing my thing and hanging out with the girls. So you can find me anywhere and follow me on Instagram and Facebook and Pinterest and all that good stuff. And I don't know, I say the same thing every single time. People are like, just be quiet and Jennifer and hang up the thing. So I'm done. Have a great day, everybody. Do something fabulous for yourself this week. What am I going to do? Okay, so many Oreos last night and I don't work out. So who cares? It's enough about me. Just do something fun. I don't know. Peace, love, and so much truth, you guys. Have a good one.